Hello traders, and welcome to Trading the Trend. I am Dennis, and this is my weekend report for week ending November 11th. And here we are looking at the S&P 500, and we had the presidential election this week, and surprisingly the market seems to like the fact that we now have a Donald Trump for president. And this is very unexpected move, since the market was kind of pricing in a Hillary Clinton victory. If we look at the Dow, that had a huge move. I mean, we're at all-time highs here. And the really strange thing about it, in the early morning hours when it was looking like it was going to be a Trump victory, the Dow futures were down like 850 points, which would have put them down here in the 1750 area, and that's where everyone was expecting the market to open. But instead, this chart doesn't show pre-market actions from the futures, but by the time the market opened the next morning, price was all the way back up here again. And we rallied from there, and you can see we rallied through the week and finished near the high of the week. So very unexpected. Where do we go from here? It's hard to tell. I mean, this is a huge move. It's not one you want to be trading against. Maybe we get a pullback. If I see a weak pullback on low volume, that will definitely be something to buy. It's a very divided market. There's some areas have done extremely well, and there's some areas have done extremely bad. So you definitely got to pick your poison here. The market seems to be just restructuring. That is kind of how I'm reading it. The portfolio managers are kind of restructuring portfolios to things that might work, to what they think will work under a Donald Trump presidency. Let's move on to commodities, which got slaughtered, especially Friday. Things like the gold miners, big down candle. A lot of this happened on Friday. Gold, same way, big down candle. Look at oil. There's oil. Oil was down, but not nearly as much, so maybe it's finding a little bit of support here. We'll have to see. It's already had a pretty good 2-week pullback prior to this, so we'll be keeping a look for that, to where we might be able to get in long on oil. Now let's take a look at the currencies. And here is my strong week rankings, and the British pound has been the big winner here. Clearly, we have an alliance forming between the U.S. and the Brexit people in Great Britain. So that could be a good sign for both countries. And as you can see, their currencies are running 1 and 2. So there's definitely that relationship there. Moving on to actual currency pairs. Here we'll look at the euro, US dollar. Big engulfing candle to the downside, so this is definitely something that can be shorted here. Could see a bit of a pullback, but it's definitely a short at this point. Looking at how about the Aussie US dollar? Again, engulfing candle to the downside. This one a little harder to play, because normally when the markets are headed up, this one usually goes up with the markets, but with the strong dollar, it is heading down right now. Looking at the US dollar yen, big engulfing candle to the upside. This is definitely a buy. I would say that the being short the euro, US dollar, and long the US dollar yen are probably your two better plays at this point. Let's drop down here and look at the euro pound. As you can see, big down candle. We had some sideways movement the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then we just broke through that, and a big candle to the downside. I'm looking at this big candle here from what is that, the first week of October, or the last week of September, and you had that huge candle and a pretty good wick at the very top. as I've mentioned before, a lot of times when you get these big moves up, they will conclude with one final big candle, and if you get a reversal on that candle, that's usually lights out, and that's pretty much what we had here. So this thing was already setting up for a move lower, and then the Trump victory for president just added more fuel to that down move. So we'll be watching to see if this thing gets legs, but I would say this probably could be shorted from here also. And that's pretty much what I have for you. I'm not going to get into the election commentary. I might do a separate video a little bit later on that subject. A lot of stuff going on here in the U.S., very similar to what we saw in Great Britain after the Brexit vote. But I will leave it with you and catch y'all later.